Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Shawnee Faye, mom of two, faith-filled entrepreneur, purpose-driven to help you craft a beautiful life. So in today's video, we're making some delicious St. Patrick's Day inspired treats, and we're going to start with ice cream. Now we're going to do this two ways, but we need to get our base started. So in a stand mixer, or even you can use a hand mixer, whatever's best for you or whatever you have available, we're going to go ahead and whip up a 14-ounce can of sweetened condensed milk. Now it doesn't whip like whipped cream. It's not going to get really light and fluffy, but you can see that there's a difference in the color, and it does by volume it increases to like 2 times the size. So it will get bigger and it will get fluffier. The point, we just want to incorporate some air. We're also going to add, halfway through that process, because it takes about 5 minutes of mixing, so halfway through that process we want to add in some of our green food coloring, maybe about 3 to 4 drops, not too much. And then we also want to add in half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of peppermint extract. Do not use a mint extract, it tastes like medicine. So use the peppermint extract, and we're just going to and due to taste, I used half a teaspoon and that was perfect for me, but I wouldn't say more than, a full teaspoon. Now to go ahead and start, I'm adding in half of one of these tubs of the Cool Whip, and I just go ahead and I kind of, in a folding motion, you don't have to do it very slow, but you don't want to take all that air out, that we just put in there by mixing it. You don't want to deflate it, so because you want it to be light and fluffy and good. So I start by mixing in half, and then I gradually add another half, and then I just kept going like that until I had used 2 complete packages of the 8-ounce Cool Whip. So go ahead and mix that together, and that's our base. As you can see, it got a lot lighter in color, and because I kind of folded it in instead of just like mixing vigorously, then I was able to keep it nice and light and fluffy. Now I am going to go ahead and separate this one batch of ice cream base into 2 different containers, because I'm going to make 2 different ice creams. Forever. We're going to start with our Oreo ice cream. So I just took some Oreo mint cookies, and I broke them up a little bit, and then I go ahead and put that in. I use maybe I wouldn't say more than 10 cookies in this. I think it was about 6 or 7 cookies is what I used here. And then I just gently fold that in, and then put that in a container so that I can place it in the freezer. Now this takes about 4 hours to freeze, and it doesn't get very, very hard. This is somewhere between like a soft serve and a hard scoop ice cream. To me, it's like the perfect balance. It tastes so good. I love it. It's like light and creamy. I have tried this recipe before with like heavy cream and then adding my own sugar, but it was so good with this Cool Whip. And all of these are ingredients that you find at the Dollar Tree, except for, of course, the Oreo cookies. You can find chocolate chips at the Dollar Tree, and you can find the Andes Candies, which I do add the Andes Candies to the other version of this ice cream that we'll make in a moment. So just to top this off, once I put it in my container, I covered it up with some not covered, but I just garnished it with some more of these Oreos, because I want Oreo goodness in every single bite. And oh my god, my kids love this ice cream. I love this ice cream. It was so good. Okay, so for our next ice cream, we're just going to go ahead and add in half a cup of some mini chocolate chips, and I chopped up about 5 to 6 of these Andes Candies and added that in there as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and mix vigorously, or not big. I'm just going to go ahead and fold it in like I did with the other ice cream. This was so good. This I use for ice cream sandwiches, like ice cream cookies. So I actually put it in a different container so that it would be easier for me to cut out the little circles for the ice cream. So now we're going to go ahead and make, speaking of ice cream cookies, we're going to make the cookies for the ice cream sandwiches. So I'm mixing together some butter and my sugars. You can see all the ingredients below. for what I use here, but I'm just mixing my butter and sugar. You can use your favorite recipe, whatever you want to use. I adapted my famous or my favorite chocolate chip cookie recipe in order to do this by adding in some of Lily's mint chocolate chip mint chocolate chips. Yes, so I added Lily's mint chocolate chips, and I just found those at Walmart. You can buy them online at Amazon, or you can even buy like the green colored mint chips. That would work that would work too. I haven't tried them, but they look delicious. So again, I'm just beating my my sugar and my butters, and then I'm going to go ahead and add in my egg, and I'm going to add in my extract. So I want to mention that this video is actually in collaboration with some other amazing content creators here on the YouTube platform. We worked so hard to bring this to you guys, and it was so much fun, and so we're excited to share it with you all. And so please make sure you look in the description box below and click the link and go show them some love. Like, share, and subscribe to their channels, and show them some love in the community. Okay, so every time I'm mixing, like my butters and my sugars, I want to make sure that I'm scraping down the sides of the bowl so that everything gets properly incorporated. So that's all that I'm doing here before I add in that egg and the peppermint extract, as I mentioned before. Now, once you've completely creamed your egg mixture and your sugars and your butter together, then you can slowly start incorporating the flour. I added mine in 2 sections. I wanted to make sure that the flour was properly incorporated into the batter because I don't want anything like sticking. I want to have the right ratio for this. So once I was done with that, I added in some green sprinkles. I actually got these on sale at Walmart. They were from Christmas, but I can't tell. And they're beautiful, bright, vibrant green. So I added those in with the mint chocolate chips, the Lily's mint chocolate chips that I mentioned earlier. And then I also added in some more of those Candies. And oh my gosh, the cookies were delicious on their own, but they were even better in that ice cream sandwich. They were so good. So in order to get that like picture perfect chocolate chip cookie, I always just add a little bit more chocolate chip cookies or chocolate chips on top. And that to me, just like when it's cooking or when it's finished baking, they look picture perfect, because without that, everything is like mixed in, and so you can't really see the chocolate chips. So now we're gonna make some brownies, and oh my god, these are not just any kind of brownies. These are mint chocolate Oreo brownies, and those are gonna go with our ice cream. So what I did there was I just added 1 cup of sugar with some of my with a stick of cream cheese, or like a block of cream cheese. It's 8 ounces. I mixed that up, and then I put some mint flavoring in there, and all of the measurements will be in the description box below. And then I added a bit of green food coloring, and I just whipped that up until it was nicely smooth and incorporated. I lined the bottom of this pan with Oreos, and then I go ahead and I mix some brownie batter. I used a box mix. You can use your favorite recipe or a box mix if you would like. And then I went and just put these little dollops of that cream cheese mixture on top, because we're going to go ahead and swirl that in. So just swirl it to your heart's content. I got very excited about this part. I just love how it comes together, and I wanted to make sure I had a little bit of cream cheese in every single bite. So to top this off, we're going to add some more of those broken up Oreos just on top there, and you're going to put it in the oven. You're going to bake as instructed on the mix, okay, on the brownie mix. So I had mine in the oven for, I believe it was 25 to 28 minutes. Don't quote me on that, but just follow the instructions on the box. And this was so good. I took it to my coworkers, and they were in love. I of course had to overdo it, so I topped it off with some of that mint Oreo ice cream, and it was so good, especially when the brownie is warm and just fresh out of the oven. Like, you can't beat it. So for our last but not least, treat, and probably the easiest one out of all of them, are going to be these little these chocolate covered Oreos. So I picked this this mold up for 40% off at Hobby Lobby, and I just went ahead and melted down some of this like lime green. It looks mint green on screen here, but it's actually like a lime green. I melted down some of that chocolate, or those candy melts, and I'm just making sure that I get all of this even. So I'm just kind of lifting the silicone mat and just pushing it down, or like, you know, tapping it down so that all the chocolate can go down. I only had like 3 Oreos left. Now all of these treats only took me this one package of Oreos, so I used those last 3 in this, and I just broke them up, and actually like 2 Oreos actually filled up 3 or 4 of these little treats. So then I go ahead and I just, you know, finish them off by adding the rest of the chocolate, and I'm going to tap that down too so that they can get nice and smooth on the back. That's the easiest way that I found to do it. Plus you don't want any like air bubbles at the top. You want to make sure that the chocolate is evenly dispersed in the mold. You're just going to go ahead and pop those out after you refrigerate it, of course. It takes about 10 minutes. It does not take long at all. I also melted down some of this white chocolate and just did a little drizzle on top. I always find it's like the easiest way to decorate these things, but it's also like really, really pretty. So I just go ahead and drizzle that over. And for the finishing touch, I'm just gonna add some of these little rainbow decals, or like not decals, but like rainbow candies that I found at Hobby Lobby. So I just put a little bit of the melted white chocolate on the back, and I stick those right on top, and I think they came out so stinking cute. And not only are they cute, but they're also delicious. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching. Please make sure you check out the other videos by clicking in the playlist below so you can see the other collaborators in this project. I love you, and I'll talk to you later.